Hello, everybody. This is Kristen Pelletier with Access Computer Training. I am going to do a quick video clip today. Hopefully, it'll be quick on how to insert an object into Word. One of the most frustrating things that I hear and that I see from people is when they insert something like a picture or a text box or something in Word, how the text ends up wrapping around the picture. And it seems like the picture has a mind of its own and the text just kind of goes all over the place. And it's extremely frustrating. So I'm going to show you guys how to wrap text. There's a feature in Word called wrap text. And it's very cool, and it will definitely come in handy from this moment on. So hopefully we'll get some aha moments out there in the crowd. But I have a paragraph up on a Word document. It's just our Access Computer Training's mission, I guess, if you will, or what our purpose is here at the school. We have a school here in Lutz, Florida, and we work with our local unemployment office, Veterans Administration, folk rehab, to help folks that are displaced workers in between jobs or been laid off and looking to gain some computer skills so they can be competitive out there in their job searches. So that's kind of what we do. And we have a YouTube channel. We've got a Facebook page. We've got a website, accesscomputertraining.com. So if you know anybody that's in the Tampa Bay area and they are interested, we are contracted with CareerSource Pinellas, CareerSource Hillsborough, or Tampa Bay is what it's called, and CareerSource Pasco Hernando. So, but let me show you how to insert a picture. You guys probably know how to do this. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to go up to the Insert tab, and I'm going to do an online picture. Your options here are pictures and online pictures. Pictures would basically take you to your pictures folder where you already have a picture in your folder somewhere. Online pictures will take you out to the internet where you can search for in Bing images for any image you could ever possibly dream of. So I'm going to type, let me see if I can find something here. Actually, I'm just going to click on planes. There we go. Not that planes have anything to do with my business, but I'm looking for, let me see if I can choose this one. I'm going to click on one of them, and then I'm going to insert. And so depending on where your cursor was blinking when you hit the insert button, that's where the picture will drop. So my cursor was at the end of this paragraph, so the picture dropped below the paragraph, which is okay. Let me show you what happens if for whatever reason I'm just clicked anywhere in the middle of the paragraph. So I'll go back up, go to online. Let me go find that picture again and insert. First of all, it comes in huge. Second of all, I was clicked, I think, right after the word offer. And look what happened. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. So then you're like, okay, well, I obviously need to make this smaller. So I'm going to click on the picture. Now, notice what happens. I've got actually two pictures. And it's kind of hard to see, but when I click on one of it, if I click off, I don't see anything. If I click down here, do you see where it says this photo by unknown author is licensed under blah, 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 okay? So if I just click on this little copyright line, I almost get two pictures. I get the one that has the copyright, so it's like in a little text box, and then I get the actual picture. So if I click on this particular box, see if I can do it, yeah. And I tap delete, let me see if it'll do it. Yeah, it'll be a little tricky. You have to get your four-headed arrow right on that bottom edge of that little text box and then tap your delete key and it will get rid of the copyright. We're not going to be using this for anything for any reason. I'm going to delete this when we're done anyway. But I'm going to take this picture and I'm going to make it smaller. And then I make it smaller and things just kind of jump all over the place and you're like, hold on a second. So do you see this little, almost looks like a little rainbow, but these are your layout options. You can do it from here and change your layout, or you can do it from the ribbon in the Picture Tools Format tab. Now, remember I said in the last video, whenever you insert an object, you are going to get an extra Tools tab up in your ribbon that pertains to even more stuff that you can do to that object. And so in this case, it's called Picture Tools. If you inserted a table, it would be Table Tools. If you inserted like a chart in Excel, it would be called Chart Tools, and so on. So the reason why I like to use the Picture Tools Format tab and come to the wrap text from here is because if I hit the drop down on wrap text, notice the icons are exactly the same as if I clicked on this. The icons are the same, but the problem is if I come over here and I'm really not sure which layout I want, I don't get that live preview, right? So I have to click on it, go back, click again, try something else, go back. Where if I choose the Picture Tools Format tab and I hit the drop down on wrap text, what happens is it gives me a live preview. Now notice what is selected is in line with text. That is your default wrap when you insert an object in Word. It's going to want to insert it in line with text. And that's exactly what it did. It's technically, even though it's a huge picture, it is in line. Notice that my cursor was blinking after the word offer. So that picture is between the word offer and the next word, which was whatever, the maybe. And so it's kind of sitting in between those two lines. It's such a big picture that it's hard to see, but it definitely is. So now if I come and use this menu and if I hover, I don't even have to click. I hover over some of the other options, you can kind of see how your text wraps. So the behind the text means that, and you can kind of see how the text is overlapping on top of the wing there at the top. And in front of means the picture is going to wrap in front of the text. So it's not really that the text is wrapping, it's how you want the picture to wrap around the text. My go-to typically is going to be tight, and yours might be too. Because if I wrap it tight, look what happens. Now, so the text is kind of wrapping around the top of the wing there. If I make this picture smaller, right? And so to resize, you get your mouse onto any one of the dots. The corners are the best because it'll resize both vertically and horizontally. And now I got it to about the size I want it. Now I'm going to take my mouse, put it right in the middle of the picture, and I get that four-headed arrow. Now I'm going to left-click hold, and I'm going to drag and say I want that picture right in the middle of my paragraph. Perfect. So notice as I'm moving it, though, the text is wrapping nicely around it, and I have the freedom to just kind of move that picture wherever I want it. Before, let me undo, when I had it in line with text, and if I take my four-headed arrow, let me try to resize it first. And if I take my four-headed arrow and I try to move it, it's thinking I have to drop it in line with text because that's what I have selected. Okay. And so just undo a couple times. Whoops. Let me wrap it tight again. I'm going to resize it down. And I'm going to move it into the middle of my paragraph. Now, here's the other cool thing. Let me zoom in a little bit. Now, it looks okay, but wouldn't it be nice if I had some of this text over here on the left side even closer to the picture? You can actually do a square. Like on this one, square wouldn't be so bad either. So if I wrap it square, then it just kind of forms this imaginary white square around the object. Okay. But like I said, my go-to is tight. So I wrap it tight. The text comes a little bit closer to the object, and then I can even make it closer. Check this out. So I'm going to hit the drop down on wrap text, and I'm going to go to edit wrap points and watch what happens. And you get all these little, almost looks like a connect the dots. But from here, if I bring my mouse over any one of those dots, you see how it kind of changes that little icon into like a four-headed little arrow with a circle inside of it. And I'm going to left click hold. I'm going to drag that in closer to the plane and watch what happens to my text. If I just start bringing this stuff closer, you should see, it's not foolproof, it's not perfect, but you can kind of see how your text can get a little bit closer and closer and closer. Wrap that in. So again, it takes a little bit of trial and error, but you have all these little points that will end up around your object where you can then just get your mouse, the tip of your pointer right on top of any one of the black squares, left click hold and drag it in closer to the picture so the text will come in closer to the picture. Isn't that cool? So you have all of your wrap text options. When I'm clicked off of the object and I click back over into the paragraph somewhere, notice my picture tools tab is gone. That format tab is gone. So you have to actually be clicked on the object in order to be able to have that extra tools tab appear. And then when you click on that, whatever it is, sometimes it's a design tab, sometimes it's a format tab, just depends. In this case, it's a format tab. This is all the stuff, the coolest stuff ever that I can do to this picture. You can add a frame around it. You can add little shadowing. You can change the color of it. So if you want it to be green, you can change the color. If you want to change the brightness of it, you can even make it almost like a watermark and put it behind the text, and it would act like a watermark. It's kind of cool. All right, but that's how you wrap text, right? You insert an object, whatever the object, in this case it was just a picture, but whatever the object is, go to that picture tools format tab, come over here into the arrange group and wrap your text. Typically, you're probably going to want it tight, but sometimes you want it square. Sometimes you want it behind the text. So notice what happens. You might want it in front of the text. So it's kind of hiding the text behind it. But typically tight works in most cases for what you're trying to do, or square. But if you do the tight, you will have the option to then edit the wrap points and bring the text even tighter towards the picture. So I hope that helped. Again, my name is Kristen Pelletier with Access Computer Training in the Tampa Bay area. And if you need to reach us, 813-575-8400 or 855-9-LEARN-IT. Thanks and have a great day.